Well, it's time to check back in with one of our VyStar Savings Challenge members, the Vaculines. I'm here with Blake again, who worked with them. And some of their challenges, of course, was the fact that he wants to retire from the Navy. You know, they've moved around so much, but they didn't know if they had the cash runway enough to do that before he can find another job. So what were some of the things that you noticed when you were working with them?
We sat down with them and we talked about a budget, really. That was one of their big things. And so we started off high level, right? Talking about, okay, here's what our income is. Here's what our expenses look like. You know, how do we manage the delta between the two? And then we kind of drilled down and went a little more granular, and not just talking about on a monthly basis, but we talked about on a daily basis. What are our expenditures going out each day, so that we can figure out, you know, where's all our money going? Because that's when I sit down with people, that's one of the biggest things I see, right? Is we make this much and we spend just about all of it, but we don't know where it's all going.
Right.
You know, remember when we talked before and I challenged them to kind of, you know, look at those things and figure out if you can save, you know, an extra $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, that can really add up when you talk about it in terms of 1 year.
Yeah, because they don't want to lose their quality of life. You know, they have 3 kids, you know, one's in karate and one's going to college. And so it's a lot of things to think about. And, you know, Vitoria was thinking about maybe getting a job, but she also doesn't really know at the moment what she wants to do. So again, that cash runway needs to be big enough for them to kind of get that figured out.
They wanted to plant roots here in Jacksonville. So that was a big thing that we discussed as well.
And also the last time we spoke with them, I mean, there's been some different economic impacts and factors that they've had to consider because obviously, you know, the job market is a little bit different, things are a little bit more pricey, and I mean, a lot of us are struggling, but especially if someone's looking to maybe retire.
That's right, yeah, and those are certainly factors you have to look at, right? And with you know, the tariffs that have gone on here recently, wondering kind of what's going to happen with the price of things, like you alluded to. So economic conditions that are going on right now certainly are impacting this decision.
Right,
so.
and maybe what we were trying to do at the beginning when we first met them might have to tweak what we're doing now because of those economic factors.
That's right. Those are reasons why you want to sit down with somebody like myself.
I think that's a great idea, and it looks like they're about to sit back down with us again. Hey guys, so good to see you again.
Hey, good to see you guys.
Yeah, join us. Have a seat. Can you believe it's been a month?
Yeah, that went by quick.
It's gone by so fast.
Yeah.
And I've been talking with Blake here, who has worked with you over this last month. So what are some of the things that you really took away from that?
A lot. So before we had talked to him, we're heavy into the monthly planning, right? How much I got coming in, how much I got going out, bill-wise, structure-wise. What he was able to turn us on to is like, what are you guys spending on a daily basis? Never took that into account. So we did that, we broke it down. I mean, we talk about receipts every day, going through them and seeing like what exactly we're buying. Where is it going?
So since you took it down to that granular level, what did you find?
3 major things. And the first one is food is super expensive.
And it keeps getting expensive, it seems like.
And it gets keeping up, right? But it wasn't really the necessities of the food that we were buying, it was the excessive food that we were buying, right? You're talking about cookies, Capri Suns, Dr. Pepper, Sprites, all that stuff that we buy for the kids just to have around. To have around, we were wasting a lot of money there. It ended up saving us, once we looked at it, it was like 17% of our bill was going towards like non-essential items. So
kind of cut back on, you know, and stuff like that.
And then you mentioned 2 others?
The second one is subscriptions. We ended up finding 7 subscriptions that saved us about $80 a month.
Wow. Stuff that you just don't need.
You don't need, you don't use, and you didn't know that you were wasting the money either.
Extracurricular activities for your kids too. That was something you noticed?
Yeah, karate.
The youngest one is, in karate's gotten a little bit more expensive than what we initially thought.
The weapons, the
sparring gear, and things like that.
Need this belt for that.
Wow.
I mean, and that stuff
that adds up.
Adds up real quick.
I bet.
And a way that we found to save is looking at secondhand used stuff for her, or gently used stuff that she can use that other kids have grown out of. That has helped us out a lot as far as her gear and stuff that she needs to promote. So once we did the daily, breaking it down completely day by day, that's whenever we caught a lot of little things that are adding up to big things.
Right. And that's huge. That's like the main thing you wanted them to be able to look at, right?
Certainly, absolutely.
Yeah. So another thing, we've talked about you wanting to be able to retire, but the job market's not looking that great, right? Tell us about your experience with trying to find what you might do after the military.
No, absolutely. Especially with the climate it is now, with the DODs and contractors and stuff like that being dwindled down.
There's a lot of still unknowns, and you know, that's why we're happy we caught those day-to-day expenses.
So haven't made a decision yet then what your plans will be.
No, luckily time is in our favor, right? So
Good.
November 1st is when we got to make a decision by. But this helps, right? Like you guys talked about the runway to be able to retire and have savings to get us to the next job. That's important, whether it's this year we're retiring or 3 years from now if I retire then. But that's huge, right? So with everything that he helped us out with, I mean, we're putting away an extra close to $1,000 a month, which kind of queued up to the last time we spoke. You said around 2,000 is where we wanted to be at. So we're knocking on that door.
Yeah.
Great.
What piece of advice, because it sounds like they're doing really well now. You're very proud of them, right? As a
Absolutely.
financial
Absolutely.
advisor, you've really just seen them blossom over this last month, but what's maybe something they could work on now?
Maybe we, take the next step and add something else that would help you get retirement income, when you need it. We might use an insurance product or something like that. We do offer those here as well. So would love to, maybe continue that conversation down the road as well as we get closer to retirement here.
Sounds good.
Very exciting stuff. But again, you guys are doing so well. We're both proud of you. Thank you so much for joining the VyStar Savings Challenge, and thank you for your service.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Of course, and good luck with everything.
Thank you.
And if you would like to visit VyStar to see what their financial tips and resources are, because we want to make sure you know all that they offer, because again, I didn't even know about the insurance thing. They have so many cool things that can really help you. Just head to vystarcu.org.